Think about this. Some 14-year-old who invests in CumRocket coin today will have more money than the responsible boomer who is investing in the S&P in 10 years. This is because the greatest wealth transfer in history is taking place right now, and this is how you can make tons of money really front-running the fact that memes and young kids are going to be taking over the investment world, and the whole thing is going to look a lot different in the next few decades. Okay, yes, that actually is a coin. I know it sounds ridiculous, but they're called Cummies, and it really has rocketed. But as you've seen, there's also tons of other projects that have rocketed in the last couple of months because alt season is on, people are getting into crypto, and it's become more easy than ever to invest. So you're seeing things like SafeMoon, Dogecoin, Luna Dogecoin, all these things just blasting up. And if you go by traditional investment measures, it doesn't really make sense. And if you talk to somebody over 40, they'll tell you that you're crazy for putting your money into Shiba Inu coin. And then at the same time, some people have made over $100,000 from a $5,000 investment in less than a few weeks from doing it. Here's what's important to know. Think about all the money that sits in boomers' hands. So their bank accounts, their assets they own, house, car, everything that they have, all of that money. And there's a lot of it because the boomer generation really had a good opportunity to gain a lot of wealth. All that money is sitting there. And people who are in their 60s, 70s, 80s, a lot of people die around that age, and really 90 is kind of pushing it. So over the next few decades, you're going to see huge amounts of boomers, passing away and then giving their total net worth to their kids. And those kids are going to inherit, 100K, some of them, maybe, some of them less. Some of them are going to inherit millions. There's going to be a lot of money just handed down to young kids. So here's a fun fact to put that all into perspective. It's estimated that 45 million US households will transfer 68 trillion with a T dollars in wealth over the next 25 years, according to Asher Chess of Surelli Associates, financial service firm. Think about that. The cryptocurrency market cap at its height when we just got Bitcoin to around 60K, the entire crypto market cap with all coins combined was around $2 trillion. Bitcoin itself topped out around $1 trillion. That's only $2 trillion for all the cryptos united. And there's gonna be 68 trillion coming down from boomers to young kids, not to mention the amount of money that young kids, as they grow and are in their careers and investing and making money, are accruing on their own. So that 68 trillion, let's say it's, 80 or 90 or 100 trillion that's going to be in the hands of kids who are just being born right now, all the way up to kids who are 30, 35, as we all age, right? Now think about this. This is what blows my mind. It's an insane thing. We still have old school investors who are disparaging crypto investments, which totally makes sense. They don't come from the internet, so it doesn't make a lot of sense to put so much faith in something on the internet. For kids who are a little bit younger, like my age or even younger, all we know is the internet. So the internet is not hard to trust. It makes a lot of sense that there's a lot of value in the internet. So for us, it's easy to invest. For them, they think it's absolutely ridiculous. But to think that the landscape isn't going to shift and change because the younger people are then going to become the adults and then going to become the old boomers eventually, that's ridiculous. Because some kid who's a generational Z, so he's like maybe some kid's 19, right? He invested in Dogecoin a year ago. He put all his money into it, maybe $1,000, and then he ended up with 500K or $1 million. You don't think that that kid is not going to continue replicating that process? You think he's going to put all that money into Coca-Cola or Walmart stock or the S&P or, the Vanguard VOO fund? No, he's not going to be smart index funding, ETFing. No, he's going to be going for the next Dogecoin, which is going to be something like Poop Coin, or it's going to be something like Butthole Coin, 100%, because he already did it once. Why wouldn't he do it again? If you get rewarded for, taking risks, you're going to get riskier. It's kind of like the gambler's, fallacy, the gambler's idea of why people win a little bit and they'll keep going back and betting more and more. So I think it's really important to personally assess what's going on and realize that even though sometimes things break the mold of what's supposed to happen, investments that you're looking at don't make sense and they're actually a technically bad investment, they still could do really good because of other things that we're having to start consider. One of those things, in my opinion, is social media and even more importantly, meme power. And what I mean by that is that now that we have social media, we have these groups on Reddit, we have these, these forums, we have Instagram pages we go on, we have YouTube channels we check, and these are gathering places for people to search out the next investment. And then when it starts to get rolling, like for example, when Dogecoin started to really get rolling at close to a cent, you started to see these memes everywhere. You started to see Elon just retweeting popular Dogecoin memes that were posted by somebody who has no following, but then Elon posts it and that meme goes viral all across the internet. As you get these celebrities and people with a lot of power who think that, investment memes are funny or this asset meme is funny, they'll tweet it, they'll repost it, it'll get shared all over the place. And as people see that, they say, oh man, my favorite basketball player just posted about Shiba Inu. It's about to go up. I'm gonna pile in there. So you have this new mentality of, social gathering causing rocket fuel to happen behind one specific asset or new coin or new stock or whatever it is, combined with meme power. So if people laugh, if they're entertained, if it's, as Elon says, the most entertaining outcome is the one that's most likely, then they're gonna even more pile into it and then get emotionally bonded to it because they grew up laughing at this thing, whether that be like GameStop, like joining in and becoming part of the ape army, or if it's, like I just said, being a part of Dogecoin when everyone told you were stupid, except now you have $100K out of your, $500 investment. Whatever it is, that rocket fuel gets bigger and bigger, and then more kids are being born. And who's raising those new babies? The kid who made $1 million on Dogecoin, the kid who made a ton of money on Poop Rocket, he's gonna be telling his kid, you know what? All those old people, all my grandparents and whatnot, they told me to invest in Walmart. You know how much money I would have had by now? I would have had 5% more after waiting for 10 years. But you know what I did? I threw it all on Poop Rocket and I made 100 times my money. That's what you should do too, kiddo. So here's one of the last things I want to bring up. The idea that investing back in the day, especially before internet, was basically just for people who either had a lot of money or were already into business or finance, markets. If you were a kid, there's no chance. When I was like 15, I wanted to get into the stock market. My dad tried to help me, but it wasn't possible really, right? There's a big barrier to entry. Now, things have changed. You have Robinhood, you have PayPal, you have Venmo, Cash App, all these different things that are accessible. We all understand, we all already have an account, and then boom, PayPal starts letting you buy crypto on it. Boom, Chase just started letting everybody buy stocks through their bank account that they already have an app on their phone for. So this lowers the barrier of entry to, one, it's not as boring and difficult and technical to figure it out. The apps are beautiful and pretty and, oh, it's all green this day and there's fireworks. And, oh, it's all red. It's very emotionally driven. And then three, you don't need a lot of money. It's not like, okay, this is gonna take 3 weeks to set up, so I'm not gonna do it because I only have $100. No, it takes like one button click and then you can put your $100 in. So then it takes all this money that's below the barrier of entry in the past and allows that money to come into the markets because, $50 is not a lot, but 50,000 people with $50, it's a decent amount of money to jump all into one coin or one stock or one asset, whatever it is. So what will likely happen is, kids, even under 18, are gonna have their old Robinhood app or the Venmo app, and they're probably gonna put, their $50 in, or even like their $10 because they don't have a job yet, or they just got a really low paying job. And then they'll see a little bit of movement. They'll say, oh, my $50 turned into 60. And then they'll get more and more brazen. And instead of putting only 10% of all their money into it, they'll start YOLOing, as Wall Street Bets is famous for. They'll YOLO all their money into things. And this is the difference between the new investors who are growing up now versus the old school investors who grew up before the internet. Two different worlds. And if you're thinking that things are going to stay the old way, you are going to be sorely mistaken and probably miss out on a lot of opportunity because the old strategies aren't going to work as well with this new world. One of my final thoughts that I think is really interesting, with framing the whole investment, market like this with these new kids growing up with new money, is that the way that we think of conservative investors now, where they only invest in like government bonds and things like that, that's going to be replaced because kids growing up are going to say, I don't want 2% on government bonds. I don't want ETFs. I don't want CDs at my bank where I get less than 1%. My friend has made 10x. My friend's making 1,000%, whatever it is, right? That's a waste of my money. I'm just gonna let it sit there for only a 3% gain over a couple of years, whatever it is, right? So that type of conservative investor, I think, will be replaced. Instead of being a government bond kind of guy, it'll be I'm conservative because I only invest in the large, proven, big market cap cryptos. So you'll have these people who are like, I think it's pretty risky to invest in that new DeFi platform. I only invest in Bitcoin, Ethereum, and maybe ADA or something like that, right? That will become the new conservative, is investing in Bitcoin, and you won't see quite as much of a return. But then the more risky investors, like we currently have, they'll be even riskier, and they'll be putting all their money into low cap crypto coins and other assets, the NFTs and whatnot. And because those market caps are really small, they don't take as much money to move move, and because you have more people doing this and more Reddits and just so many more people in general, even just having 50,000 people jump into a brand new coin, you'll be able to see that coin go up not 100%, but 28,000%, you know, go up 400 times or whatever it is. And this isn't going to be something that stops happening. I think it's only going to happen more and more. Of course, we're going to have bear and bull markets, but I do think that at some point you are just going to have so many people with the app on their phone, the ability to buy anything, that you're going to have these little market cap things just popping off even more than they do now. So that's my thought process on what's changing. I think things are changing more than anybody really realizes. And even just in the last year, but even like 4 or 5 years, things have changed so drastically, they're almost unrecognizable. And I think that as we move forward, knowing and keeping on top of the fact that this new group of people is really going to start running things as they start to absorb all the money that used to run things, I think that's going to pay off hugely for a lot of people who are willing to keep up to date with what's happening on TikTok, when people are pumping coins on TikTok, and when you're looking on Instagram and YouTube and Reddit, and you have all these people getting behind all this new stuff, and you might have thought, oh, that's going to be a bad, investment. But as you keep up with the memes, okay, there's now thousands of these memes about this one coin. You can realize maybe I should jump into that, get my 2 or 3x, get out of it. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just saying it's not the worst thing to be following some younger people when it comes to investments, because I think they're going to be running things sooner than you think. Anyways, guys, just wanted to rant a little bit, let you know what my thoughts are on that. It's something that's been in my brain for quite a while now. As you guys know, I'm a hardcore Bitcoin guy, so I've got my Bitcoin right here. Hopefully I don't lose it, because this is $40,000 in my hand. Can't lose that physical Bitcoin. If you guys enjoyed the video, give it a big old thumbs up. Helps to get out to way more people. So hit that like button right now. Let me know what you think about this in the comments below. Do you think that things are going to change drastically like I'm envisioning, or do you think I'm over exaggerating a little bit and it's not going to be as widespread and as deep of an impact as maybe I'm saying? Let me know in the comments below. Subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Keep tuned, because there's new videos coming every week. Let me know what you want to see, and I love you guys. I'll see you in the very next video.